Hi everyone and welcome back to Zero Forma Builds. Oh yes, it is time to talk about my most played Warframe over the PS4 and over the PC account as well. He currently took over Excalibur, which is good. And yeah, I know Frost is no longer used that as much as before because we have new Warframes and stuff, but nonetheless, he is an absolute defense and mobile defense champion. In survival to keep your squad alive as well. With basically whenever you don't want stuff to die, you cast his 3, which is the snow globe, right? So yeah, we will take a look at 3 builds. 2 of them I am very familiar with, and 1 is in a testing phase at the moment. I really want to see if I can make that build work though. So let's jump right into it. The first build will be an affordable one for every starter. So aura doesn't matter too much, take what you want, what you have. The most important mod on Frost for his snow globe is stretch though. You want at least stretch on every single build that you put together that wants to throw down a snow globe. It is hugely important. Make sure you have stretch equipped. We have vitality on here to give us some health. Steel fiber actually scales up the health of your snow globes, paired with intensify. So power, strength, and your armor rating do boost the strength of your snow globe. Keep that in mind, that is very important. That also makes armored agility very important because Frost is a little bit of a slower sprinting Warframe, so you can negate that a little bit by equipping armored agility. For a no Forma build though, I really wanted to get the most out of it, and 90% armor instead of 45% is perfect. However, you can switch those out to gain a little bit of sprint speed, and you do not lose that much armor. We have flow in here for a little bit more energy, and streamline for efficiency, just so we can recast our 3 fairly often. That's pretty much it. So before we spawn in some enemies, let's just quickly take a look at the ability, right? So you press your 3, your globe is up, and whatever's outside cannot shoot inside it. You can shoot from the inside out, which is perfect. Also, you can recast your ability up to 3 times to boost this snow globe further, which is very, very important to do in higher level missions. Let's quickly check the abilities though, like we did with Volt. Your freeze, your 1, can be a single target freeze, which isn't that bad. The duration will get thrown off by other builds, but for this build, it is actually viable to use this on a heavy armored unit, like a bombard, a heavy gunner, or a Nox or something, just to keep them 15 seconds out of the fight, and you can take care of them as well. Ice Wave, pretty fun ability for damage dealing, and has an augment, which is the build that I'm working on right now, so we will come back to it as well. Snow Globe, as you can see, you have a 67% slow dealt to the enemies that enter the Snow Globe, so yeah, huge advantage, right? And there you go. You had a 5-meter globe. With stretch, you have a 7.25-meter globe, which is the bare minimum, in my opinion. Health of the globe, 8.2k. We achieved that with Steel Fiber and Intensify. And Avalanche, his 4th, very good crowd control ability, can be used for damage dealing in earlier levels. almost 22-meter radius, which is actually quite good. And we strip 52% armor. This is extremely helpful if you have a bit of another build. We will come back to that build later on though. So let's spawn some enemies into our snow globe there. As you can see, these guys are fairly slow, which gives you a huge advantage. Also, we had the augment on there, so enemies have a 50% chance to freeze when entering the globe, which we did see in effect there for a little bit. I really should have pointed that out. This is optional, but if you can get your hands on it early, it is very helpful, because 50% chance to freeze enemies for 8 seconds. That is fairly good, right? So, yeah, another thing new Frost players don't know. You can have multiple snow globes on different locations. They do not interfere with one another, which is very helpful to know. And if you throw your one onto them, you can destroy them. You will deal an AoE damage here, which is also very important to know. Alright, let's jump to the second build. Yeah, globes for everyday play. This is how I named this one, because it is actually truly the thing that I use this for most of the time, when I do only care about mobile defenses and stuff. Second one is this one. I have to quickly rename this to Wave, I guess. This is a work in progress. Here I was carrying armored agility about it, but the build is built around his augment for Ice Wave. We leave around a trail for 12 seconds that slow enemies down, which is fairly awesome, to be honest. We did increase the range here with an Augur Reach. You could go for, not Constitution, what's the name? Cunning Drift, I guess? But you do not get the same result, of course. And this is so our Ice Wave has a fairly good radius that it covers. To intensify, we added Power Drift to get a little bit more strength out of it. You could argue for a Transient Fortitude here, but it is a budget build and we had to use the Physique Aura that matches the slot just so we can fit everything on. Vitality and Steel Fiber are still the same. We're boosting the Snow Globe even more with Armored Agility, which gives it a health of over 10k and an 8.75 meter radius. This is the important thing though. 1000 damage, well, okay, but for 35 meters and 5.25 meters in width, which has an angle of 60%, which will increase the spread of it quite nicely, I'd say. And this is the trail that it leaves behind, so let's quickly, just for the giggles, throw this down from here, catch everyone into... Look at them! They are so slowed down! And you can just recast this thing at your will. It is awesome. I really like this build. I don't know. It is a starter build, yes, but the augment makes all the difference. Yeah, it is quite fun to run around with that, to be fair. But the most fun with Frost, and the build that I use the most nowadays, because I wasn't sure if I can fit it together in a build without the Forma. But we did, actually, which is fairly awesome, right? So, stretches all the range we have, which is a bit of a pain, I thought, so I had a Cunning Drift here. Yeah, just to get a little bit more. These 15% do make the difference for me, actually. We have Power Drift and Transient Fortitude here. This is important because we do need as much strength as we possibly can get. And I use a Fleeting Expertise here, just so our 4 will be very, very spammable. We are also using the Icy Avalanche Augment, which grants you and your allies within your radius of your 4 a coat of ice that absorbs 60 damage per enemy hit. So the more enemies you hit with your 4, the more damage will be absorbed. And you can, if you play it right, your whole squad will not take any damage throughout the mission. Vitality, Steel, Fiber are here, just so we can boost our snow globe to the 10k that we had it before-ish around. We are on an 8-meter radius here, which is nice. This is the important thing, 24 meters, 64% armor reduction. You could boost this even more, but we didn't need to too much. So, for this, we will pause the AI because I do not want to have them running around. Yeah. It is just... Excuse me, it is really just for demonstration purposes. Yeah, make sure we have some energy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 enemies, right? So this is our 4, and we have 672 damage reduction. Of course, in a normal defense mission, you would have way more enemies than that, right? So let's see here. Let's take some butchers. Doesn't matter too much. All of them that we can get. Spawn them in. This should get almost everybody here. Or no one. Nope, that range is a bit too less. But if you cast the ability again and you hit more enemies than before, it scales up, so we have 768 damage reduction now. And to the fodder enemies, those are level 50 corrupted butchers. 2 casts and they are dead. Which is absolutely awesome. Because the ability is so cheap with fleeting expertise, right? And for a 0 Forma build, I really think this works extremely well. Also, worth noting, year 2, still very good. Very usable. No augment, of course, but still, year 2 is a massive damage dealer in this case. Also noting, year 1 gets literally useless now in this build. Because 2.6 seconds, that's less time than doing this. So you can even fire 2, 3, 4 shots from a powerful weapon, which kills them immediately. So yeah, year 1 is pretty much done. But yeah, the added armor reduction is very nice. Not armor reduction, the damage reduction that you get is very nice. The perfect thing is, though, you give them to your teammates as well. So this is really a build that you want to run in public missions or when you are playing with your friends. Yeah. Awesome. This build, I really do like it a lot. I don't know what it is. I really don't know. 2 rank from the top, Transient Fortitude, is affordable, as well as Fleeting Expertise. To level these things, you don't even have to invest too much. So yeah, these 2 builds, you will need the augment for them to really work, to really do what you want to do. For this one, that you can just use for leveling and stuff, Chilling Globe is nice to have. You do not need it though. What you could do is replace this with an armored agility, actually. Gives you 9k on your snow globe. I think this nightmare mod isn't too hard to get, so maybe give it a shot. Or get the augment and lose about 2k-ish on your snow globe's health. But yeah, always remember to recast your snow globe when you're standing inside of it to boost its health. And that's pretty much all for Frost. Thank you very much for watching, guys, and as always, take care. Bye!